Hi guys, your friend Gopika is here, and in this video I'll be discussing part 1 of problem set 4a from the chapter financial planning. Okay, so part 1 because half the problems I'll be discussing in this video and the rest half in the next video. So without wasting time, let's get started. So the first question is MCQs. So let's go through the questions. Rate of GST on essential commodities is, the correct option is C, 0%, because 0% tax is levied on essential commodities. Why it is 0%? The answer to it you can find in the introductory video of this chapter. I'll provide the link in the description box. Next, the tax levied by the central government for trading within state is, the tax levied by central government, so it should be central GST or central goods and service tax. So that is option B. So all these things are basic, it's for the basic thing which we learned in the beginning of the chapter itself. So in the beginning of the chapter you will find the answers too. And the third question is general knowledge. GST system was introduced in a country which year? It is 1st July 2017, that is option D. The answer to this is also in your textbook in the lesson itself, in the very beginning of the chapter, where they have given a conversation between teacher and students. This date is mentioned there. Okay, so you don't need to, or else you can Google it also to find the date. The fourth is, the rate of GST on stainless steel utensils is 18%. Then the rate of state GST is, so rate of GST means the total GST is 18%. Then the state GST will be half of it, that is 9%. Because we know that from the total GST, half the percentage goes to central government and half the percentage goes to state government. So state GST will be 9%. Okay. Fifth, in the format of GST identification number, that is STIN, there are dash alpha numerals. There are 15 alpha numerals. So this also we had discussed in our introductory video. So please go through the video to find these answers. Okay, so that's all with the multiple choice questions. Now let's see the second question in this problem set. A dealer has given 10% discount on a showpiece of rupees 25,000. GST of 28% was charged on the discounted price. Find the total amount shown in the tax invoice and what is the amount of CGST and SGST. So you have to find the central GST and state GST, and we also need to find the total amount shown in the tax invoice. That is the total amount that they had to pay. Okay. So the first thing is, cost price is given to be 25,000, discount was given of 10%, and rate of GST is 28%. So these are the given details in the question. So let's start with the solution. First thing is, discount is 10% of the cost price, that is 10% of 25,000, and that will be rupees 2,500. So our discounted price will be from the cost price, that is from 25,000. If you subtract 2,500, you get the discounted price, and that is 22,500. Okay, so now on this discounted price, GST of 28% was charged. So hence GST will be 28% of 22,500, and that will be rupees 6,300. So GST we got, that is the tax. Now total price will be, to this discounted price, if you add this GST, so that would be 22,500 plus 6,300. When you add these two amounts, you get the total price, that is 28,800. So the total price or the total amount is 28,800, and total GST is 6,300. So half of it will be central GST and half of it will be state GST. So that also we need to write. So half of 6,300 should be 3,150 rupees. So that is CGST and SGST. So a very simple question. Only thing is, in the beginning we need to find the discounted price, and then we need to apply the percentage of GST on that amount, not directly on cost price. The deducted price or the discounted price, on that we have to apply the percentage and find the tax. That, otherwise it's a very straightforward problem. Let's see the third question. A ready-made garment shopkeeper gives 5% discount on the dress of rupees 1,000. Okay, so the dress of rupees 1,000, and on that 5% discount is given, and then charges 5% GST on the remaining amount. So on the discounted price, 5% GST is applied, Then what is the purchase price of the dress for the customer? So here you just need to find the total amount or the total price. No need to find CGST or SGST, just finding the total amount. So first we will find the GST. First we will find the discounted price, and then on that applying 5% we get the GST amount, and when you add the discounted price with the tax or with GST, you will get the purchase price of the dress. So starting with the given details, cost price is 1000, discount is 5%, rate of GST is 5%. So first thing is discount, the amount how much gets reduced, so that will be 5% of 1000, and that is rupees 50. So from 1000 you deduct rupees 50, so this is the discounted price, and now on discounted price we will apply rate of GST to find the amount of tax. So that would be 5% of 950, which is 47.5 rupees. Once you get GST, the total price or the purchase price will be discounted price plus GST, that is rupees 950 plus rupees 47.5, and that will be rupees 997.5. So that is the final answer. So the customer has to pay 997.5 rupees for the product or for the ready-made garment. So this is the fifth question. Malhotra purchased solar panels for the taxable value of rupees 85,000. So Srimati Malhotra is purchasing solar panels for the taxable value of 85,000. That means the taxable value is 85,000, and she sold them for rupees 90,000. Okay. So the cost price is 85,000 and selling price is 90,000. The rate of GST is 5%. Find the ITC, that is the input tax credit of Srimati Malhotra, and what is the amount of GST payable by her. So first thing is taxable cost price is rupees 85,000, taxable selling price is rupees 90,000. Rate of GST is 5%. So these three things are given in the question. Now we need to find what is taxable, what is the percentage of GST on the cost price, and what is the percentage of GST on selling price. And then we will get the input tax credit, because actually we are finding the output tax and input tax of Srimati Malhotra. So the first thing is input tax. Input tax means the tax which was paid by Malhotra while she purchased the solar panels. So the purchase price of, or the cost price was 85,000. So when she purchased the product for 85,000, 5% of the amount was paid as input tax credit, input tax, that is rupees 4,250. So now this 4,250 is same as ITC. Okay, input tax is same as input tax credit, but the input tax credit term came because when the same product is sold, he or she can redeem that amount from the customer or from the one who is purchasing the product. This 4,250 will be redeemed from them, and the rest amount only will go as tax, and hence we call this input tax as input tax credit. So that is rupees 4,250. So that we had to find for first thing. Then we also need to find what is the amount of GST payable by her. So input tax we got. Next we find the output tax. Output tax means the tax collected by Srimati Malhotra while selling the product. So while selling the product, the price was 90,000. So 5% of 90,000 is rupees 4,500. So while selling, Srimati Malhotra is collecting 4,500 from the customer as tax. So input tax and output tax we got. Now we apply the formula of payable GST. So payable GST or GST payable is equal to difference between output tax and input tax credit, that is output tax minus input tax credit. So 4,500 minus 4,250, and the difference is rupees 250. So rupees 250 is the GST payable, because while Srimati Malhotra purchased the solar panels, she already paid tax of rupees 4,250, and then while selling the solar panels, she collected a tax of 4,500. So this 4,250 she will keep with herself, and the rest 250 she will pay to the government. So actually the amount of GST payable is output tax minus input tax credit, which is rupees 250. Now this explanation in detail you can find in the previous videos of this chapter. I'll provide the link in the description box, wherein you will find the full chapter concepts. Okay, so that's what we had to find. Two things, one was input tax credit and the other thing was GST payable by Srimati Malhotra. So both the things we have found. So this is the final statement. Therefore payable GST is rupees 250. Okay, so this is the sixth question. A company provided Z security services for the taxable value of rupees 64,500. Rate of GST is 18%, and company had paid GST of rupees 1,550, that is 1,550 for laundry services and uniforms, etc. Now, what is the amount of input tax credit, and also find the amount of CGST and SGST payable by the company. Okay, so we have to find ITC, that is the input tax credit, and we also have to find what is central GST and what is state GST payable. So when you have the payable term attached, first you find GST payable by finding difference between output tax and input tax credit, and then divide it into two to find CGST payable and SGST payable. So first the given details. Taxable selling price of the security services is rupees 64,500. Then GST, that is the goods service tax, is 18%. Rate of GST is 18%. Sorry, not just GST. This is rate of GST. And finally, the input tax given is rupees 1,550. So why input tax is 1,550? Because the company had paid GST of 1,550 for laundry services and uniforms, etc. Now this is a service. This is not a goods purchased or something like that. So we don't need to pay for all those if when we are dealing with a transaction of a good, that time we see the cost price of the good and then the selling price of the good, and on both the things you apply the percentage of tax, and then you find output tax and input tax. But when we are providing services, for example tuition service or whatever, there they don't need to purchase a product from the person and then they are passing the product to another one. No, there they are sharing the knowledge they have themselves. And services like support services. Now for example in Z security services, the support services are laundry services and uniforms. Uniforms means the employees which they wear, the uniforms that they wear. All those support services, they need to pay the tax. Other services comes from the labor of their employees themselves, not any good or that. So here the tax paid by them is only for the support services like laundry and uniforms, and that is the input tax for them, that is rupees 1550. And next we will find, so these three things we found from the question itself. Next we have to find the output tax. So input tax credit is already given, that is rupees 1550. Output tax will be the selling price of the service, for the service whatever payment the company is taking from the customer for providing their security services is 64,500. So the tax collected by the company will be 18% of this cost of the selling price, and that will be 11,610 rupees. So this much comes as output tax. Now GST payable will be a difference between the output tax and the input tax credit. That is the formula. That will be 11,610 minus 1,550, and the difference is 10,060 rupees. So this is GST payable. So once you find GST payable, then CGST and SGST payable is simple. It is just half of 10,060, which will be 5,030 rupees. So CGST is also 5,030 and SGST is also 5,030. Okay, so that's all for this video. The rest problems I'll discuss in the next video. And to better understand the problems in problem set, I would suggest that you watch the previous videos on this chapter, the link to which I'll provide in the description box. If you like the video, please share it with your friends and please subscribe the channel. And you can also follow us on Instagram, and do write your doubts and suggestions in the comment section. So see you soon with my next video. Until then, take care.